Have you ever wondered why a queen with the world's most expensive jewellery barely wore half of it? You clicked on this video because something felt off, right? A woman with access to priceless crowns and tiaras, and yet most of them sat locked away for decades. Here's what makes this fascinating. Some of these jewels were worn just once. Others, never seen in public at all. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the most stunning pieces Elizabeth owned but almost never touched, and the surprising reasons why she kept them hidden. Some of these stories will genuinely shock you. Let's unlock these secrets. Now, let me tell you about one of the rarest diamonds in existence, the Williamson pink diamond. This stone is exceptional, not just valuable, exceptional. It's a 54.5 carat rough pink diamond. Pink diamonds are extraordinarily rare. Only about 0.0001% of all diamonds mined are naturally pink, and flawless pink diamonds? Almost unheard of. This diamond came from the Mwadui mine in Tanzania. In 1947, a Canadian geologist named Dr. John Thorburn Williamson owned the mine, and when Princess Elizabeth married Prince Philip that same year, Dr. Williamson wanted to give them a wedding present, so he gave them this diamond, rough, uncut, but absolutely flawless. Princess Elizabeth sent the stone to Cartier in London. Frederick Mew, a master designer, created a flower brooch setting. Platinum and white diamonds surrounding the pink center stone. The result? One of the prettiest pieces in the entire royal collection. Queen Elizabeth wore this brooch to special occasions, but not frequently. It appeared at her coronation portrait session in 1953. She wore it to Canada during royal tours, and it made appearances at significant state banquets. But this is not an everyday piece. Here's what makes it truly rare. The combination of size, colour and clarity in a pink diamond is almost impossible to find. Experts estimate this brooch could be worth between 10 and 15 million pounds today. But it's more than value. It's unique. You cannot buy a diamond like this. They don't exist for sale. The Williamson pink is one of a kind. And Queen Elizabeth understood that, which is why she wore it sparingly, preserving it, protecting it, for the next generation. Now let me tell you about the necklace. The Delhi Durbar necklace, made at the same time as the tiara, for the same occasion. Part of Queen Mary's emerald parure for India in 1911. This necklace features 9 enormous cabochon emeralds. From the same Cambridge collection, the same lottery win. The pendant? The Cullinan 7 diamond, an 8.8 carat pear-shaped stone, cut from the original Cullinan diamond. The emeralds total approximately 300 carats, the diamonds over 100 carats. This necklace is estimated to be worth over £3.5 million today. Queen Mary wore it in 1911. Then it essentially disappeared. Queen Elizabeth II inherited it in 1953, and she wore it occasionally. But here's the remarkable part. In her entire 70-year reign, this necklace appeared at perhaps 5 or 6 events. Maybe. The George VI Victorian suite with sapphires. She wore it constantly. The South Africa necklace, regular appearances. But the Delhi Durbar, almost never. The last confirmed sighting was at a state banquet in the 1980s, over 40 years ago. Why? The same reason as the tiara, the weight of history. This isn't just a beautiful necklace. It's a political statement about British rule in India. Every time Queen Elizabeth considered wearing it, she had to think about that context. Would it offend? Would it dredge up painful colonial history? Would it overshadow the diplomatic purpose of the evening so the necklace stayed hidden, safe, preserved, locked away? 300 carats of emeralds, a Cullinan diamond, millions of pounds of jewellery, sitting in darkness, 40 feet below Buckingham Palace. In 1947, King George VI gave his daughter, Princess Elizabeth, a wedding present, the George VI Victorian suite. This set was originally made in 1850, Victorian era, sapphires and diamonds. The suite included a long necklace of oblong sapphires and a pair of square sapphire earrings. Princess Elizabeth loved the necklace. She wore it constantly after her wedding. In 1952, she had the largest sapphire removed from the necklace to shorten it, and in 1959, that sapphire became a new pendant. In 1963, she commissioned a matching tiara and bracelet to complete the set. But the earrings, the original 1850 earrings, Queen Elizabeth wore them publicly exactly once in her entire reign. In 1969, she and Prince Philip attended a charity concert. She wore the complete parure, necklace, earrings, tiara, bracelet, all together. That photograph exists. You can see it, the full Victorian suite, and then the earrings vanished. She continued wearing the necklace, the tiara, the bracelet. But those square sapphire earrings from 1850? Never seen again publicly. Why? We don't know for certain. But jewellery experts have theories. Perhaps they were uncomfortable. Victorian earring settings can be heavy. Clip-ons rather than pierced. After hours of wear, they can hurt. Perhaps they didn't suit her face as she aged. Some earring styles work better on younger faces. Or perhaps she simply preferred other sapphire earrings. Queen Elizabeth owned dozens of pairs. The Saudi sapphire earrings, modern sapphire studs, other options that were lighter, more comfortable, more flattering. So those Victorian earrings went back to the vault, one wearing 1969. That's it. This represents something fascinating about Queen Elizabeth's approach to jewellery. Just because something is valuable, historic, doesn't mean you have to wear it. If it doesn't work for you, you put it away. And you wear what makes you feel comfortable. Even queens have preferences. Now let me tell you about a brooch with a German royal past, the Hesse diamond jubilee brooch. This brooch was made in 1893 to celebrate the diamond jubilee of Ludwig IV, Grand Duke of Hesse. It's a stunning piece, 8-pointed star design, all diamonds, platinum setting. The brooch came into the British Royal Collection through Queen Mary. Her mother was Princess Mary Adelaide, Duchess of Teck, and the Teck family had connections to the House of Hesse. Queen Mary owned it. Queen Elizabeth II inherited it, and she almost never wore it. In fact, this brooch was so rarely seen that jewellery experts weren't even certain it still existed. It appeared in inventory lists, in old photographs from Queen Mary's era, but modern sightings? Almost none. Queen Elizabeth may have worn it once or twice to very small private events, but no confirmed public photographs exist from her reign. The brooch stayed hidden until after her death. In 2013, the Duchess of Cornwall wore it publicly, for the first time in decades. She wore it to a Christmas Day service near Sandringham, and royal jewellery watchers gasped, because many had forgotten this brooch existed. Why did Queen Elizabeth keep it hidden? Perhaps because of its German origins. During her reign, which began just 7 years after World War II ended, German royal jewellery was complicated. Or perhaps she simply had too many brooches, 98 of them. She couldn't possibly wear them all. So some, like this one, lived in the vault, waiting for the next generation to rediscover them. Let me end with one of the most mysterious pieces in the collection. A bracelet that might not even exist anymore. The George VI festoon necklace, which became a bracelet. In the 1940s and 1950s, Queen Elizabeth, then Princess Elizabeth, owned a diamond festoon necklace. It was a wedding gift from her father, King George VI. The necklace featured swags of diamonds, delicate festoons, Edwardian in style. She wore it in early official portraits in the late 1940s and early 1950s, but then it disappeared. And jewellery experts believe Queen Elizabeth had it converted, shortened, redesigned, turned into a bracelet. This was common practice for her. Remember the South Africa necklace? She shortened it and made a bracelet from the removed diamonds. The George VI festoon necklace likely underwent the same transformation. But here's the mystery. We don't know for certain that the bracelet exists. It hasn't been photographed publicly since perhaps the 1960s, maybe early 1970s. The records are unclear. That means this bracelet has been hidden for over 50 years. Half a century. Why? Perhaps because it's fragile. Festoon designs with swags of diamonds are delicate, easy to damage. Perhaps because the style fell out of fashion. Edwardian festoons look dated compared to modern designs. Or perhaps it's simply waiting in the vault, along with hundreds of other pieces, for the right moment. The right wearer, the right occasion. This bracelet represents something important about Queen Elizabeth's collection. Some pieces are public treasures, worn often, photographed constantly. Others are private, personal, hidden, not because they're not valuable, but because they're being preserved. For history, for the next generation, for a future we can't yet see. Queen Elizabeth II owned over 300 pieces of jewellery. A necklace unseen for 40 years, too politically loaded, earrings worn once in 70 years, beautiful but uncomfortable, a brooch hidden for decades, forgotten until rediscovered, and a bracelet that might exist but hasn't been seen in 50 years. 5 different types of jewellery, 5 different reasons for hiding. Some jewels stayed locked away because of history, because of politics, because they represented empires that fell. Others stayed hidden because of comfort, because of style, because the Queen simply preferred other pieces. What this teaches us is remarkable. Owning something doesn't mean wearing it. Value doesn't equal visibility. And sometimes, the rarest treasures are the ones nobody sees. Queen Elizabeth understood this better than anyone. She knew which jewels to wear and which to preserve. She knew which pieces were for public display and which were for private keeping. These rare jewels aren't failures because they weren't worn. They're successes because they survived, intact, preserved, protected. For the next queen, the next generation, the next century. If learning about these hidden treasures fascinated you, I'd love a like on this video, subscribe for more deep dives into royal jewellery that stays hidden in the vaults, and drop a comment. Which piece surprised you most? The tiara worn twice in 113 years? The earrings worn once? Or the bracelet that hasn't been seen in 50 years? Because sometimes the most extraordinary jewels are the ones you never see. Thanks for watching. See you next time.